No matter what you do, that you ever dare to quit. Now look, if you got a 9 to 5 job, and that job you're in you hate, then by all means go ahead and quit that job. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is this shit. If you got a dream, if you got a goal, if you want to get anywhere in life that's even a tad bit difficult, don't you fucking dare to quit. Now look, sometimes you'll read a book, and in the book this author, athlete, whatever, will tell you something along the lines of, if you're thinking about quitting, that's bad. Look, thinking about quitting, I mean, it's not ideal. It certainly ain't ideal, but also, it's not that bad if you think about quitting. What matters is simply the fact that you don't. And so, the importance of not quitting is massive. Like this shit, if you start living like this, it's literally going to change your life. It's gonna change entirely what you're capable of. You'll effectively become a new person. But really simple. You don't quit. Okay? Falling down is fine. Falling down is fine. Embarrassing yourself is fine. Failing is fine. Making mistakes is fine. All of this shit that people, like being scared, is fine. All of this shit that people are so bloody afraid of, everything in that category is fine. But what isn't fine is quitting. Thinking about quitting is fine, but quitting isn't fine. So, even if you miss, let's say you're trying to make YouTube videos, even if you miss a upload, you still don't quit. You still don't quit. It doesn't matter. Because you're not here to be a bitch. You're not here to quit. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to do something, if you, let's say, want to get in shape, the only thing you're not allowed to do if you want to get in shape is quitting. That's the only thing you're not allowed to do. Your weight can go up, it can go down, but as long as you don't quit, you'll eventually end up at point B. Now, in order for you to not quit, you have to be pretty damn clear on where you're going and why you're going. And so, one concept is kind of this idea of you can't escape. Because, of course, you can cope in life. Like, let's say you lose your job. Are you gonna quit working because you lose your job? Probably not. Maybe you'll do a business, but you ain't gonna fucking quit making money because you lose your job. Now, you can cope. Of course you can. But what you can't do is escape the reality of life. You don't get to escape life itself. And so the idea is that there, like people talk about having plan A and then they talk about having plan B. Well, in order for you to not quit, one thing you want to do is get rid of plan B. And you might say, well, isn't that risky? Isn't it risky to just have one plan? Well, depends. Because if you have two plans, well, which one are you gonna choose now? Are you gonna choose your dream or are you gonna settle for less in the case of plan B? Because if you have plan B, you're leaving the door open. You're leaving room for effectively failure. You're leaving room for quitting. Okay, so always like when I did door-to-door sales, the only thing I did was bloody door-to-door sales. When I did cold calling, all I did was do cold calling. When I did copywriting, all I did was that. When I did photography, all I did was that. There was also one point, so after I got done with the conscription, so finish, gotta go to the military. So after I got done with conscription, I didn't weigh bloody anything, but what I did was I went all in on fucking working out. All I did was literally hit the gym and I went up like 10 kg, so like close to 20 pounds. But that was the plan. There was no plan B. There was no other option. Okay? There is a reason, like even now, I've never really tried to get a place to study. Why? Because there is no fucking plan B. There is plan A. There is the game plan. There is how you win. And then there is nothing else. Why? Because if you only have one option, you live and breathe that option. Think about it. If you got 90 tasks, as I did at one point, if you got 90 tasks on your list, what is the likelihood that you'll actually do the most important task? Really think about it. Like there are all these tasks that are like easy, even nice, even enjoyable to do. And then there is this one thing here that's hard. Maybe you're tired, that you don't feel like doing. What do you think the likelihood is that you'll do this bloody task here? Well, it's not that high, because you got, motherfucker, you got 89, really, 89 other options. Whereas if you do something like I'm doing right now, I set 3 key goals per day. So I got my habits, all the self-improvement shit. But then on top of that, I got 3 tasks for the day. And one of those right now is making 3 YouTube videos. Like before recording this, I was tired as a motherfucker. But look, because I can't like these have like I don't allow myself to sleep unless I do this. So this has to get done. I have to make this video. It doesn't matter if I want to or not. And when you live life like that, well, you're a completely different person, and also you're not gonna quit this shit now. And so you're just forced to excel in a sense. I'll very soon get to the point or like what actually happens when you don't quit. But it's like in so in the military, you got this like marches sometimes up to, I think the longest one was like it was like 52 kilometers. So that's like, I don't know, maybe like 30 miles about. And so this took pretty much like 2 days. I think I slept for 15 minutes or some shit, maybe. Just like on the side of a campfire, no sleeping bag, no nothing. And when you're on a march like this, and you go from point A to point B, there is no other option than to succeed. There is no other option than to win. You can't quit. You literally can't. And this is like one of the reasons why, in a lot of ways, the military is good. Because you quite frankly, you can't quit. Because you're not gonna be that one motherfucker that just lays down and everyone starts fucking hating on and dragging you after them. Like that just doesn't happen. It doesn't. And so you're forced to deal with the reality of life that you're somewhere in the middle of point A and point B. And in order for you to succeed, you need to get to point B. And this makes you perform way better. Now, of course, can you maintain 52 kilometer marches all the time? Of course, fucking not. But the point is, you're forced to perform. You're forced to execute on the actual mission. Okay? The problem with a lot of people's lives is the fact that there is no need for getting to point B ever. And so it becomes this thing of, let me try. Like, you'll sometimes like, of course, you're not always gonna win. Like, you'll do a job application, you're not gonna get the job, you'll start a business, you're not gonna make any money, that shit happens, that's life. That's literally, like, the likelihood that you'll not get a job, the likelihood that your first business isn't gonna make money is pretty damn high. Like, you're talking at least 80%. Probably like 99. So, do try, but also at the same time, you're not gonna quit. You're gonna try until something works. As it's like, I was talking to my grandpa about YouTube some weeks ago, but motherfucker asked me, what if it doesn't work out? And it's like, this is how normal people think, literally. What if it doesn't work out? People are trying to weigh odds of something they don't know the odds of. Okay? No, I don't know the odds of my YouTube working out. Like, someone who's done this shit. You take someone like Alex Ramos, you take someone like Mr. Beast, okay, fair enough. They might be actually able to tell what the odds are of this shit working out. But you and me, neither of us know. And so, people will ask, what if? What if what? What if it doesn't work out? Well, then you try again. Well, but like, people are trying to cope so damn hard. You're just gonna try and try and try and try and try again. At some point, you're gonna break through. Because the world, like, if you're relentless, if you are relentless in your pursuit, the world can't hold you for fucking ever. Take sales. It doesn't matter how shit you are at sales. If you just keep pushing through here, you're gonna end up making a sale by accident. All because you didn't quit. But if you also have these other options, this doesn't really work out, well, let me do this job. Now you quit sales, now you don't ever make this money. I'd say really just have one option, because that's really gonna put you in a situation where you're forced to perform. It's gonna do you fucking wonders. Because if all the options you have is fucking get richer by trying, you're gonna be a different force to be reckoned with. And so, for this sales example and for the YouTube as well, if you just don't quit, you're almost forced to win. If you do 10 years, I really fucking highlight this. Like, people can talk about the job market. People can talk about this, people can talk about that. Yeah, okay, it's really hard to get a job because of fucking Vladimir Putin. Like, okay, this shit doesn't matter. It fucking doesn't matter what Putin or fucking Ukraine or fucking Trump or Netanyahu. It doesn't fucking matter what any of those fuckers are doing. If you keep doing a job application, like even just one, if you do one application, like you're trying to get a really good job, you're doing one job application per day for 10 years, okay, that's 3650, okay? If you do 3,650 job applications, you're gonna get a job. And you will get this job. Why? Because you didn't quit. Whereas there will be someone that does 200, doesn't get a job, quits, and now this motherfucker will live on fucking government benefits for the rest of his life because he quit. And so that's what happens when you don't quit. When I was working in sales, you wouldn't even necessarily have to. Like, this is the ridiculous part about this. For you to be a top 20% salesperson, how much money do you think you need to make? Is it $100 per month? Is it 1K? 2K? Maybe 7K? No, motherfucker. It's actually zero. You might ask, well, how the fuck would it be zero? The reason why it's zero is because within a month, let's say, there will be 5 other people who are doing sales, or like 4 other people, maybe even 10 other people, who apply for the same sales job as you, but they all quit. So if you just stay in a sales position for 1 month, but you don't make any money, you're quite literally more successful at sales than all of these motherfuckers over here who quit. It's the same with YouTube. I don't actually have any statistics on this, but let's say there are 10 people who do YouTube. You're one of them. Now, none of these people quit after like 10 vids. But you, on the other hand, keep going. Let's say you're 20 now. Motherfucker, you're better than all these 9 people by the sheer fact that you didn't quit. Okay? So that's why you need that, like, you never quit. Okay, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have something you want to achieve, you don't quit. No, it's not gonna be smooth sailing. That's not life. You'll have ups, you'll have downs, you'll have ups, you'll have downs. But if you just don't ever quit, by the will of God, by the force of nature, whatever the fuck you're trying to do is literally, by probability, forced to work. And even then, you'll feel way better about yourself because you didn't quit. You'll be way happier. And so that's the power of not quitting. If there's something you want to do, probably scrap plan B. And then, just don't quit. No matter what you do, just keep moving. No matter what. That's all you have to do. Success it's not an event, okay? It's not one big event. It's not you sell your company for 1 million. No, it's literally small steps every single day. Maybe you do 1 more video per day than your competition. Maybe you do 1 more video per week than your competition. It's stupid small actions that end up making the difference. And one part of it is not quitting. So just keep moving, no matter what, and you'll get to the end point. That's all I got for you today. I'll catch you in the next one. Out.